Welcome back to another episode with Systeme.io, where we discuss a success story with Molly Kaiser, an online educator and YouTuber with about 100,000 followers. She is now generating between $40,000 and $60,000 a month of recurring passive income with an 80% profit margin, all with digital products. Meanwhile, she's also educating her clients worldwide how to do the exact same thing, building profitable and freedom-focused content businesses, all while using YouTube and digital products inside of Systeme.io. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back to another success story with Systeme.io, and I cannot wait to continue to dive into conversation with Molly here with Freedom Creator Club. Is that what it is?
Freedom
Yeah.
Creators, the business, and Freedom Creator Club is our program. Yeah.
Yes. I am so excited. I was fangirling before we jumped on. We talked for a good hot minute, and finally we were like, let's hit record. So let's recap all the things with you, Molly, and jump into how you got started. Give us your elevator pitch into what you were before or what you were dabbling in that led to this now content creation, digital marketing business with Systeme.io.
Yeah. So I like to say the speed dating version because otherwise we'll be here all day. But yeah, basically I was studying photography in college and I just realized they were teaching us a lot about how to make great art, but not how to make money. And like many college students, I had, tens of thousands of dollars in student loans. And I just kept thinking, how am I going to pay this off if they're not teaching me how to make money? So long story short, I dropped out of college, started my photography studio in a small town in Wisconsin. I was able to grow that to multiple six figures a year. And that's when other photographers, I noticed they were booking shoots with me, but really they just wanted to ask me business advice. So I started offering coaching and workshops for photographers, on how to help them with their business, get more bookings, all that. But I was doing, 5 to 10 shoots a week. I'm like, I don't really have time to be hosting workshops and coaching. So when I learned about digital products, I thought, this is it. I could take all my information that I was teaching them and put it into a digital product so I could create it once, sell it over and over again. So my very first digital products business was helping photographers, and we grew that to $2 million per year. And then I actually pivoted to what I do now, which is helping creators to take the knowledge they already have, create their own digital products, and also grow on YouTube.
All right, and that's the show, y'all. There is so much to unpack there, and I am super excited. Now, a lot of y'all listening may not know, but that was my beginning, photography and videography. So you hit the nail on the head. And I think a lot of people who are listening right now, they may be creative. They have a vision, but it's turning that creative vision into something that's sustainable, such as a money mindset, business strategies. Now, I consumed a lot of your YouTubes and you talk about mindset a lot and you talk about getting a financial freedom kind of mindset. Can you dive into what you learned with the studio, a brick and mortar, that prepared you for the digital marketing realm?
Ooh, I have never been asked this question, and I've been doing this since 2014. I like that. Yeah, that's super good. So, honestly, I would say one of the biggest things that I took from having a service business into what I do now is pricing strategy. That's one of the biggest things, actually. Um, for example, with my membership Freedom Creator Club, I always like to have three pricing options. And
Mhm.
something I learned from being a photographer is you want to have one really big package that's kind of like your anchor weight for your pricing, and it makes your other prices look smaller. Now, obviously, you're going to actually give that much value. It's not just a tactic, right?
Yeah.
But it is a tactic and it does work really great because if you have something for $3,000 and then you have another package for, $199, then people are going to go, well, this is such a better deal. So that's something I learned from my service business.
Yeah. So in your
I can't
service,
think of anything else, but that comes to mind.
but the tiers and having threes. So like I know that threes is a strategy, the three packages, but also like, is there anything with like the numbers ending in sevens or nines
Oh, interesting.
or like any
Well,
value there
I
that you
will
add?
say with the tiers, what I recommend is figure out what you need to price it at or what you want it to sell for and make that your middle package, because you're basically steering people towards that. Make it the best deal, call it the most popular, all those kinds of things. I did, I used to do the whole 9-7 just because I thought it looked good, but I've actually very recently, because we're actually about to raise the price of our program. So I started doing research on why 9-7, why 9-9. There really is no data on 9-7 being better than ending in 9-9. And the matter of the fact is, if you are selling a high volume of products, that extra $2 multiplied over thousands of dollars in sales, or thousands of people in sales, can add up to a lot of money. So we're actually going to be switching to ending in 9-9, because every dollar does count when you're running like a low ticket, higher volume business.
I love that. And so right there, value right there, move away from the sevens and the nines, move up to that 9-9, the 3-tier approach. And so speaking of service provider versus digital products, there was one thing that you did and realized is time and money. So when you're a service provider, you only have a allotted amount of time that you're able to give. And so you couldn't continually scale if you're always doing one-to-ones. Like you only have a finite amount of time. So you unlocked passive income. Can you dive into that psyche that you create, that you were able to unveil as you moved from service providing to online passive income?
Yeah. So basically, when I was a photographer, just like you said, I was realizing I've hit an income ceiling. Like the only way for me to make more is to literally book more shoots and me work more. I did go down the path of hiring other photographers, but since my name was in my branding, I found a lot of my customers had pushback to that. They were like, "No, I want Molly," because that was the name of my business. And so I was like, "Okay, I just don't think this route's going to work." So what I did was I blocked off every single Friday out of my schedule, and I'm sharing this because most people, when they try to go from a full-time job or a service-based business or something into digital products, I find that their biggest struggle is they just simply don't have time. And I'm here to tell you, you're never going to have time. You're not going to wake up and there's a present on your bed and you unwrap it and you're like, "Oh my God, more time." Like that's never going to happen. You have to actually make the time. You have to decide that this is something you want to do, and then physically go into your calendar and mark off the time and be serious about it. So for me, I marked off Fridays. Totally get if you have a full-time job or kids, maybe Fridays doesn't work, but the point is like block off a few hours here and there, or block off maybe every Saturday or every Sunday or something like that. And that's when I just said this day is dedicated fully to growing my digital product sales. And then eventually that became more 50-50, and then eventually that became more full-time.
I love that. That's a small, it's like that snowball effect. Like, let me start small. Let me start building. Let's get some momentum. And we'll get to the platform that we're talking about, Systeme.io, and how it literally helps you create those small steps to creating those small margins of time where it's not going to cost you a lot financially in the beginning, right? And, so if you are only going to do Fridays and you need to make one small $7 digital product, you're able to do that and it's not going to cost you so much. It's one of the things that we hear. I also heard, for anyone listening, adding to that, is this one woman gave 4 to freedom. And so she had children and she would get up at 4 a.m. and use like that morning before her kids got up, 2-3 hours every morning, just so she could have that margin to build her own business. And they actually use Systeme.io. Her husband is actually a guest on this podcast as well. John Whitford, if y'all are listening, go find that episode as well. And so after you were able to scale and move from the Friday and moving on and on and on, can you tell us about how you ended up with Systeme.io? Were there some other softwares before you got there? Because we know it can be an amazing all-in-one, but was it available during that transition from service provider, brick and mortar photographer, to full online educator?
Yeah, so I'm actually not sure which year System.io became available. I'm going to guess 2019, but I don't know for sure. Do you know?
Um, I believe
Oh,
2018.
I was close. I was close.
Yeah, but
So when I started offering digital products and selling digital products, that was 2014. So System was not available yet, unfortunately. I'm going to breeze through this because You guys are not going to find this part interesting, but I started actually on like WordPress because back in 2014, there quite literally was nothing. So I started on WordPress with opt-ins, and I think I used Mad Mimi was the email marketing. It's like, that's a throwback, guys. Okay, I don't even know if that company still exists. And then what we did was we actually I've tried so many softwares until I found Systeme.io. So first I tried, gosh, I'm trying to think. I think the first major one I went with was Entreport. Um, but I think they start at like 500 a month. So I'm not bashing the way that these platforms work. Like they all, work. But some of them are just very, very expensive, and a lot of them charge based on how many email subscribers you have. So that was one thing. And then we also were using ClickFunnels at one point for actual like funnels, because with Entreport, at least back in the day, I can't speak to what it's like now, but they're like web building and funnels and all that wasn't very good. So we had to kind of mash together all these programs, and we were spending thousands of dollars a month because we have a big email list, smashing together all. Plus, we have to use Zapier to connect all of these platforms. Which, if you don't know Zapier, it's extremely expensive. Even now, we don't actually need Zapier for anything with System, but when we run live webinars with Webinar Jam, we still need Zapier, and it's like 300 a month we pay for Zapier. It's extremely expensive.
Oh, wow.
So anyways, though, all long we even did what's Infusionsoft. Like we've tried
Hmm.
all of them. Okay. And actually what happened was when I started this business, Freedom Creator, I was like, I don't want to go with all those expensive solutions. I'm just going to go with, you're going to die when I say this. I'm like, I'm just going to go with Kajabi because it's super easy. I know. Let me tell you the lowdown on that. um, and so, which, if you're a beginner and you don't know really anything about marketing other than just send an email, it sends emails. The deliverability is not great, but it
Mm.
hosts products and it sends emails. That's about it. It doesn't really do funnels or anything. Doesn't do upsells really very well. Doesn't, no order bumps, none of that. So anyways, we were on Kajabi for a while, and the main reason I was on it is because I thought it would be easy for my students. And when we started affiliating it, I actually got feedback from my students saying this is not easy to use. It's extremely expensive. And so I actually sent them out a survey. I actually sent out a survey to my students, and I said, well, what software are you guys using? Because I want to be able to not only use a platform that's great, but be able to promote a platform that I feel good about and that's actually going to help my students. And the survey came back, and most of those people said that they were using Systeme.io. And so I was like, I've never heard of this software. What is Systeme.io? So I go to the page. First of all, I look at the pricing. Are you kidding me? Like, I literally just, when people say to me, like, well, it's so expensive, I just want to shake them because I'm like, first of all, it's free. There's a free tier that you can get pretty much everything for up to 2,000 email subscribers for free. The next tier up, I think it's $25 or $27 a month. Keep in mind, we were paying literally thousands of dollars a month with previous software. So when you compare it, I mean, even Kajabi is hundreds of dollars a month, or minimum, I think 100, which comes with hardly any features. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to make this whole thing just talking about System, but not only do I think the pricing's fantastic, but it is, in my opinion, the easiest software to use. It's the best builder. They don't charge you per email subscriber. I mean, we literally have 40 some thousand email contacts and we only pay $800 a year. So, which is amazing. Like, I'm literally just like screaming from the mountaintops, like, how are more people not using this? I mean, maybe a lot of people are, I don't know, but I know me and all my students use it. They absolutely love it. So yeah, the builder's great. The email's great. It's all very easy to use.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and it does everything. People always ask me too, like, well, what do you use it for? I'm like, what don't I use it for?
What
Like,
don't
we
you use
literally
it for?
host our website on it. We host our blog on it. We host our products on it. We send emails on it. We have an entire 9-month long automated email sequence using
I heard
System.io.
that, but we're going to go back to that one.
I know. We use checkout pages, sales pages, order bumps, upsells. Yeah, I probably should just stop. Obviously, like, yeah, I'm not getting paid to make this video. I just wanted to hang out with the System crew, but yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great software.
Okay. So the fangirl moment is as I did research for System.io for the podcast, you came up on the radar. You and one other gentleman who was Iran Bouquet, which I already interviewed as well. You two are killing it on YouTube. And so before we dive into the bells and whistles of System.io, which it does everything for you, you pretty much said, let's talk about how you one, listen to the feedback of your people, of your clients, of your ideal avatar. But how are you getting your ideal avatar? What organic traffic are you using to kind of pull in people who are also probably going to use System.io and be the content creator person you're looking for?
Yeah, first of all, listen to your people. That's a mistake I made with my last business. We were repping a different software, has nothing to do with email marketing. And people constantly were saying, even though I loved it, they were constantly saying they didn't like it. And if I had listened to the one that they had been using and switched to that, granted it, if I like it and promote that, we would have made so much more money. Our customers would have been so much happier. So listen to your dang customers. Like they definitely know, especially because even when you promote something, they're still going, I don't know. I'm going to look into it myself. So definitely listen to them. And as far as how we are getting leads organically, we get, I mean, I'm guessing right now, but it's got to be at least 98%. We don't run any ads or anything like that. I post on Instagram maybe once every 2 years. So we get all of our leads from YouTube, organic YouTube. It is the absolute best lead generation organically out there right now.
Mhm.
I've done it all. I've done blogging, I've done Pinterest, I've done Instagram, I've done TikTok. I did friggin' Periscope. Like I've been on all of Clubhouse, everything. I've done it all. And we tested for 6 months using Hyros's data tracking software. We tested, if we put a full-time effort with a great strategy from the top person in the industry on every platform, what's going to bring us the most leads? And YouTube blew it out of the water. Like all the other platforms were maybe like 20 to 100 email leads per month. And YouTube, we get 2 to 4,000 email leads a month from YouTube with no paid ads. And here's the best part about YouTube: YouTube pays you once you get monetized. YouTube pays you. I make around $5,000 a month from YouTube AdSense. So I get paid 5K a month to make videos. And that doesn't include like brand deals, affiliate income.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And I love and I wanted to kind of sit there for a minute for a lot of people who may be listening, a lot of new people to content creation. They know they want to use System.io, and most people who come on um, in America are building personal brands, and YouTube is a great place to start that. And I wanted you to be able to help them see you can diversify your income, not just with passive income of digital products, the courses, the ebooks, but also using YouTube in their AdSense and brand deals and sponsorships that you can do there as well. And so once you get them coming in with organic traffic, right, and it lives on YouTube, it's an evergreen marketing tool. That's what Pinterest used to be, and that's what Google is, but kind of losing its traction because people want visual. YouTube is,
Hmm.
what, is it the number one evergreen search tool now? I,
YouTube?
has it trumped Google yet? I doubt it's.
I genuinely don't know that stat, so I'm not going to speak to it. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm not sure because I actually don't rank my videos for search. I actually rank my videos for the homepage. So I actually don't pay attention to search very much. I also feel like this is just my opinion, no data backed here, but I feel like people are using AI more now for
Hmm.
search than they are using Google. I don't know
That's a
if
stat
there's
as well.
data. Oh, there is. Okay,
Hmm.
but yeah. So yeah, I let YouTube's algorithm do all the heavy lifting, and I create videos for the algorithm.
Yeah, because they're using AI like it's always part of it now. So it's like this subfolder of analytics. Google was number one, YouTube was number two, Pinterest was number
Mm,
three for evergreen marketing.
really?
But Pinterest, with their changing how they change things around, and with the rise of AI, people will jump to that more often, but they'll use the one inside of Google or inside of YouTube as well, and get to the gist quicker. It's like, let me just flip the book over to the back and see if I want to watch this. And
Yeah.
and so that's what's happening with YouTube. And so we're going to have to get smarter being able to put our enough SEO keywords in it because that's all it's grabbing is, those sort of things. But it's still one of the top lead organic traffic sources that you can use to push people to your Systeme.io environment. Now, you have a membership. So before we step into that, I do want to know, do you help them learn how to use YouTube inside of that?
Yeah. Yeah. So my membership's called Freedom Creator Club. And what we do is it's actually two programs in one, essentially. It's a massive program for an insanely low price. Like people are always like, "Do you really teach all of this?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." I've just been doing this for so long that my goal with this program was to create a program that was better than all the high ticket programs out there because I have beef with high ticket bros. And but charge a low ticket price for it. So it's like you're getting, what you would pay a ten or $20,000 high ticket program for $59 a month. But basically,
Oh,
yeah, what we teach in the program is I have an entire program on how to grow on YouTube, whether you're at zero or you're already at, 50K, 100K, it doesn't matter. How to grow, and not only how to grow, but how to consistently use YouTube for growth and email leads, but also sales. And then we teach you how to move your YouTube viewers to email subscribers, how to grow your list, how to launch your digital product, and then most importantly, how to evergreen it, automate it, passive income it, whatever you want to call it, to get those consistent monthly sales.
I love that. And that back end right there where we were talking, like that's where I really want to dive in because some people, me, building up the content, that creative piece it can be fun while other people are focused on the analytics. But I like how you actually put all of those pieces into, together as like a customer journey. And so let's dive into Systeme.io. How, we know that you create a following, right? You build out a brand on YouTube. That's how you kind of set it up. And do you care if it's, or when you're teaching, do you try to lean towards personal brands or is it just content creations? People who want to do faceless stuff or maybe ASMR or, like,
Yeah.
can it be service providers? Like, who's your
Yeah.
avatar?
So my avatar is definitely someone who wants to be the face in the videos. But that said, we do have a number of people who want to make faceless videos. Basically, what I tell people is the way that I teach how to grow on YouTube will absolutely work whether it's a face or faceless or whatever. But when you go to sell digital products, ask yourself, would you be more likely to purchase a digital product from a person or from a faceless channel? I think you know the answer. So I'm not saying, like, obviously you can make sales with it. In fact, one of my top students is a faceless channel. However, she's not a faceless AI slop channel. She is a faceless channel for sewing where she shows only her hands, but it's
Hmm.
still her. People still know she's a human. They're inside of her sewing boutique. They still feel that personal connection with her, even though she doesn't show her face. And I think that that is necessary to make good sales. Now, obviously, we know data wise, you can make money with. I'm sorry, I'm going to call it AI slot videos. Like, I just am because I just really think people need to be. I just would hate to see a world where the internet just becomes like repurposed AI stuff. I just think we would all miss. I think the thing we like about the internet is talking with real humans.
Yeah.
So it's obviously possible to make sales, but yeah, my ideal person is someone who has something that they are like bursting to share, something that they've either helped themselves with or helped other people with, and they want help growing a platform and they want to make consistent money by teaching other people how to do that thing. I am a huge believer that the world will only become a better place when there is more educators and more affordable education as well. And so my whole thing is I just want to help more people become online educators. The other thing is I really wish that our teachers, I'm speaking to Americans now, got paid more. And unfortunately, in America, they are underpaid, in my opinion. And so, this is a way that you could be an educator online and, in my opinion, get paid what you deserve to be paid for sharing that knowledge.
Yeah. So there's no salary ceiling. You can
Yeah.
actually, you know, work and earn, get that, get what is due to you. And it
Hmm.
really comes down to your work ethic and how hard you're going to work for it and create. But sometimes you need a mentor, a guide, someone like you who's going to come up alongside them and kind of demystify the tech, demystify the content creation journey for them. So,
It'll definitely help them. It'll definitely help people get results faster to learn from someone who's done it before. I've personally invested over $200,000 in courses, coaching, masterminds. Like, I'm a huge believer in that. I mean, obviously, do your due diligence and hire someone that you see their life and you're like, I want a life like that. You definitely don't want to model someone who's, I've made the mistake of hiring a coach where I'm like, oh, they seem like they know what they're talking about, but I didn't click in my head. They're working 24/7, they don't seem very happy in their personal life, like make sure you're modeling someone who actually has a lifestyle that you
mhm.
want, or like maybe you're someone who wants to buy all these fancy cars, like go get a mentor like that. I'm totally not that person. I'm like, I drive a used Ford hybrid. I really don't care about cars. But I like to have, what I care about is free time. And that's why I called my business Freedom Creator, because myself and all my students, that's what they want. They want financial freedom. They want freedom to spend time with their friends and family, and also the freedom to actually have, quote unquote, a job that they enjoy going to, and that they have the freedom and control over, what they're doing.
Yeah. And so you're talking about that work life balance. You don't want to be, it's like, I quit my 9 to 5 to work 24/7. You're like, no, I quit
Mhm.
my 9 to 5 to, I believe you even have that 4 day work week, right? And
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it varies, but I mean, so in July, I took 2 full weeks off. I didn't work at all, didn't check email, like nothing, okay? To go visit family in Wisconsin, and then in September, my husband and I, for 2 full weeks again, so just 1 month later, basically, we went to the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. 2 whole weeks, did not work at all. And then I just got back from a week at Vid Summit, which, it's for YouTubers. Technically, I guess it's work, but I would go anyways. It's
yeah,
extremely fun.
you went to
But
Vid Summit. You
yeah,
went to,
I actually spoke at Vid Summit. Yeah, it was
oh,
awesome.
and maybe that's how I've heard of you. Did you meet Sean?
Who's Sean?
Sean
Wait,
Cannell.
oh, he does not. I don't think because he has his own.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but I totally know who Sean is. His channel's great. Yeah.
Sorry. So I got that confused. The Vid Summit's the other one. Okay. He has his own.
Daryl Eves runs Vid Summit. I think it's also partially owned by Mr. Beast, I believe.
Oh,
Uh,
that one.
at least
Okay.
at one point it was. I don't know if it still is, but
If you're still
um,
listening, I'm geeking out over YouTube video content. So again, if you are a YouTuber or you want to be, this is stuff that is fun. Like going to these conferences, rubbing elbows with people who are doing what you're doing or you want to do. So this is really exciting. And you spoke at this conference as well.
yeah, it was my third year attending, and my first year speaking. So I did attend it even before I spoke. I think it's an awesome conference. Like, it's just super fun. I mean, who doesn't want to be, if you are a YouTuber or a budding YouTuber, honestly, I mean, the sessions are great, but you're going to learn the most just from meeting other YouTubers. And like you said, like being able to network and meet other people doing what you want to do. And that's also kind of the point of my program as well. It's like not only finding YouTubers and growing on YouTube, but finding YouTubers who are selling digital products, because there's kind of like two splits in the YouTube market. There's like YouTubers who mostly focus on like AdSense and brand deals. And you'd be surprised, by the way, some people are making millions from just AdSense and brand deals. But for me, I prefer building more of a business off of my YouTube channel, because it's a lot more reliable. It's more consistent. You can scale it a lot bigger.
Hmm.
AdSense and brand deals, they can kind of ebb and flow. And so I really like doing that. And then there's kind of that other side of the YouTuber sphere where people like to build a business, whether it's digital products or physical products. It's kind of like a split, I guess, in the
Okay.
industry.
So before we move on to the next one, let's pause here for people to have context about that work-life balance, your ability and opportunity to be able to do the things that you just said you did. Go take 2 weeks off, followed by another 2 weeks off to go to a conference and not worry. You said financial freedom. To have
Mhm.
that free time and not be worried about the stress of, can I pay my mortgage? Am I going to be able to pay for my car? Can I pay off my school
We
debt?
made more money when I was gone. Like, I find that, as you grow your business, you will notice sometimes you can become like, if you're a creative, and I'm not talking about if you're a new business owner, but once you grow, to 25, 50K months plus, you might notice that you might be the one bringing too many ideas and too many things to do. And if you take a vacation, you might make more money. Like if you have a team and you have everything automated, which we have literally everything automated through System. So that's how we're able to do it. And then on a normal work week, I mean, like you found out scheduling this podcast, like my week is free. Like, I mean, I think you just contacted me like a couple days ago, maybe,
Yeah.
I was just like, sure, let's do it. And then the only other thing I have on my calendar is I have a photo shoot later this week to take photos for our sales page.
That's exciting.
So yeah, it's a pretty busy week. It's just excruciating.
I don't know how I'm going to get through it.
But I will say in the beginning, it's not going to be like this. I want to
Mm-mm.
be very clear on that because I do see a lot of business owners when they're new, they're like, well, I want passive income. And I'm like, that's great. And you can have that. And by the way, when I say passive income, if you look up the definition, it means work up front with minimal effort to maintain. It doesn't mean wave a magic wand and become a millionaire with no work. Like
Exactly.
you have to build the foundations, and that's what System's going to help you do.
Yeah.
But yes, you have to build the foundations. And you know what? In the beginning, you might work more than your job, but eventually you will not have to work that much. Eventually, once you have everything automated, yeah, you'll be able to have more free time in your life, which is good.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to do what you actually enjoy as well.
Yeah. And so you work hard up front to eventually get to a place where you work smarter, not harder. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
and so let's put some numbers out there for anyone listening because I know you talk about it on your channel, so you're
Yeah. Yeah.
very transparent. So it is 2025, and you said your audience told you they were using Systeme.io. So you didn't come from scratch. You didn't build from scratch. You already had content, you already had ideas, products, and you moved it all to Systeme.io, right?
Kind of. um Basically, yeah, we had built out like a okay, so I was teaching photographers and all of that, right? And then I pivoted. We actually took a year off um just because we wanted to take a year off. I played 900 hours of Animal Crossing, which is a video game for those nerds out there. It was super fun. And then I actually started with a program called Profitable Courses, and I built that on Kajabi. And yeah, it was selling and everything was going well, but we had built it with ads. And so even though we were doing like, I don't remember, it was crazy numbers, like 80K plus months.
Wow.
The profit just wasn't very good because we were running ads. Ads are extremely expensive. And especially back, I think this was 2021 or two, the ad costs were insane. And so actually, that's when my husband and I had a conversation and I was like, I actually want to essentially start this over.
Oh,
No longer using ads. And so that's actually when, and I also noticed on YouTube that people didn't want to just start courses. They wanted to do digital products in general. Like some people want courses, some people want ebooks, some people want workshops, some people want memberships. And I wanted to have a membership because it's just like a course, but the pricing model is better because you get that monthly recurring revenue. So we actually, retired, whatever you want to call it, that program. And that's when we started on YouTube. That's when we started on Systeme.io. That's when we started Freedom Creator Club. Like it all kind of started. I just was like, I had this clear vision of this is actually what I need to be doing. Like we were kind of using old methods from the other business, like the ads and the blogging and all that. And it just doesn't work like it used to. It just doesn't. So,
okay.
yeah.
You essentially started from scratch. You did all these other things. Like it gave you the experience and the knowledge. And
Yeah. Like I
then
really didn't start on YouTube till like 2023. And then I got monetized August of 2023 on YouTube. So yeah.
2023. Anyone listening, we're going to timestamp this right now. This is October 2025. Okay. So that's 2 years. That's 2 years. And you said, I'm going to go all in as a personal brand on YouTube, kind of rebrand this.
Mhm.
Again, and for anyone listening, she has years of experience previous service provider, photographer, an online educator, and that matters. Okay. And so before we before we dive into these numbers for Systeme.io, what had you previously made up to this point and walked away from?
Yeah. So, well, with my photo education business, we had built that to $2 million per year. And that just, I mean, this could be a whole other podcast. In fact, I've done podcasts about like why we close it and all that. So I don't want to like totally get bogged down with
Yeah.
that. But the long, extremely long story short is I had been in the photo industry for 16 years, since I was 17 years old. I don't know about you, but did you feel like you fully knew yourself at 17?
No, but also I know
No.
the photography industry too, and I'm with you, girl. I'm like, I'm ready, like I
Oh,
get it.
interesting. So for
Yeah.
me, my main reason that I wanted to pivot is just A, I had been doing it for 16 years since I was 17 years old. I was just like, okay, I've been there, done it. Like I just was kind of ready to do the next thing. The second thing is I've always liked business way more than I've liked the photography aspect. Um, and the third thing, and so I was actually for the last 2 years of that business, I was already telling my husband, like, I just really want to go teach digital products. I want to teach funnels. I want to teach business. Like I was already itching to do those things because I would try teaching them to photographers, but they just really want, like, I want posing. I want, I'm like, I want to teach business. So there was that. And then of course, COVID. Long story short, like photographers couldn't even take photo shoots. I mean, people wouldn't like we couldn't sell our program being like, hey, we're going to teach you how to take bookings when you literally cannot take bookings.
Exactly.
Like it's just, I mean, now it probably seems silly, but if you were there during 2020, like it made sense. And I will say nobody teaches you how to close a business. And a lot of people ask me, well, why didn't you sell the business? Well, that's actually why I'm doing things a bit differently with Freedom Creator. You can't really sell a business when you are the face of everything, because I didn't want to be involved. I wanted to go do my own things separately. And so that's actually why with Freedom Creator, a couple things we've been doing differently is we actually started recently a second channel, which I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to mess up the algorithm, but we started a second channel that's run by creators. So that's one thing that we are doing. And also most of the business runs pretty much without me other than my channel. So, I mean, I have other people helping me with the Q&A calls. I do some of the Q&A calls as well, for our program. And so I don't really have plans to sell it. And I didn't have plans to sell my last business either. But I do think it's just smart business to build your business that way, regardless if you're going to sell it or not, because it just removes you and it gives you more freedom, just like regardless. So, yeah.
All right, that was a solid business strategy for anyone who's like sitting at the beginning and they're thinking, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. And they're like, wait, here's the 10-year plan, by the way. Like, can you create a business enough that you can, if you remove yourself, it can still operate or you could sell it and it can keep
Mm-hmm.
going. And I
Like
love that
mostly
because,
without you, or like what happens if you get sick or someone in your family passes away and you want to be there, like you need to. And obviously from day one it's not going to be possible, but you do want to be thinking about those things. And that's why we teach a lot of systems in my program. Like we're teaching people, this is how you can hire contractors, this is how you can build SOPs, this is how you can obviously make money and grow on YouTube, but obviously the back end needs to also support the freedom that you want as well.
I love it. I love it. So, service providing to online educator,
Mhm.
photography industry, up to $2 million, tons of
Mhm.
awards, accolades. You're crazy to close it, but you do. And you've been with
Yeah,
Systeme.io.
everyone told me not to close it, and I was like, "But I wanna teach this other thing."
And you had
So,
peace
yeah.
about it and you had a plan. Like I'm sure you thought through those steps and the
I definitely
world.
have I definitely had those days in the beginning where I was like, "Was I crazy to close this?" But now where I am today, I am so thankful that I did what I did. I'm just sharing that for anyone who's maybe considering. And also just know people who really struggle to pick a niche or niche, whatever you wanna call it. Um, you can always pivot later. Like just pick a niche and start making money. And my friend put it this way. She said, when I closed my photo education business, she said, you basically just got paid $2 million dollars a year. Well, obviously not, that was revenue, but however much per year, to get a master's in how to sell digital products, and so just get started and pick a niche and start making sales and know that you can always pivot later and that education is always going to stay with you.
Exactly. You, experience is the best teacher.
Hmm.
So with System.io, 2 years, what have you been able to scale it to in that time frame?
Yeah. So this is something too to add. with my last business, we got to $2 million a year with a $6,000 product. We are at anywhere between 40 and 60K months right now. So it's pretty consistent between those two numbers. And that's with a $59 a month product. So keep an eye on my business because things are going to be crazy next year because we literally went from, okay, so let's see, 4, 2. Yeah, last year we did like 220 revenue, I think, and this year we're going to do over $600,000.
Mm.
So, which is insane growth. But again, I have done this before, so
Mhm.
I'm not claiming anyone's going to be able to grow that fast. But I will say, with my first digital products business, we did double almost every single year. It is possible,
Yeah.
but I'm not promising results, of course.
Now, I know you're a big reader because, again, I did my snooping on your channel and you read a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
books. So the king of smart passive income, Pat Flynn, he talks about this. He's like, I threw a lot of spaghetti at the wall. I learned a lot. And so now when I start a new venture, I already have all this experience. And so I can scale
Hmm.
faster because I know what to do. He's had a
Hmm.
podcast, he's had a YouTube. And so like he has a Pokemon YouTube channel that blew
Yeah.
up really fast. He's like, y'all can't use my chapter 8, where I've learned everything here and I'm just applying everything I've learned. But if you
Hmm.
get into your membership, you have access to someone like you. And so that's why I wanted you to share your numbers specifically, is because it's showing you know what you're
Yeah, and I
talking
have
about.
my 2 system awards right here. And then a newspaper article about my photo studio. Yeah, just wanted to show
Yeah.
the proof.
It is a social proof. We need
And I do have
it.
screenshots of all my numbers on my channel as well. So
Yep. And so y'all can go check out her YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel? Just drop that
it's just
little.
my name. It's Molly Kaiser.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah.
KEYSER. I have to see it in my head. And so you were able to scale in 2 years using all your experience, all those things. And you specifically said with that $59 a month product, right? Do you
Hmm.
have, so let's talk about your product line, the diversity or not diversity, the funnels that you have. Let's dive
Hmm.
into the bells and whistles of your Systeme.io system.
Yeah. Well, from my years of experience, I have learned that more digital products does not equal more money. In fact, with my photo education business, at one point, I had over 100 different digital products. So if that doesn't show you how much I love digital products, but literally, I mean, I would go sit at a coffee shop for a weekend, bang out an ebook, and make 50K in a weekend. Like I was just like addicted to like, and people would get crazy results, send me testimonials. Like I was just addicted to making these new things and getting these great testimonials, and of course making money was fantastic as well. But what I learned when I tried to scale past like 500K a year, it wouldn't go. And so I just thought, oh well, I'll just like, since I did a 50K launch, I'll just make another product and that's another 50K. I'll just make another product, I'll make another product. The thing though is that you are launching to the same audience. You need to be consistently growing your audience and not just consistently making new products. You will burn out your audience. You need to have consistent lead gen. Like most of the businesses that come to me for like advanced coaching and things, I find that they'll say like, well, I can't get past this. I can't get past this. I'm like, you don't have lead flow. Like you need consistent lead flow. You need to be on YouTube, in my opinion. And so that's why I'm so focused in on one product. We actually only have one product, but we are launching another product in January. But it doesn't matter. Basically, we've gotten this far with one product, $59. I also did not want to do the high ticket route. Again, I know there's this huge mass movement of like high ticket bros right now, and I don't want to do that. I didn't want to hire a sales team. I've done all this. Like I don't want to hire a sales team, manage a sales team, train a sales team, run ads. I don't want to do all of those things. I want a freedom focused business. And I don't think most people out there want to be tied to hiring, training, and managing a sales team and running ads either. Running ads, by the way, it's not as easy as it sounds. It sounds like you turn on ads and you make money. That's not it at all. Every week you need to be refreshing the ad creative. Who's going to make the ad creative? You have to make the ad creative. And then you or an agency or whoever runs the ad creative. Like it's actually when I did high ticket was actually when I had the least amount of freedom in my business. Right now is by far the most amount of freedom in my business, and I did that on purpose. And so I really highly recommend you start and scale one digital product, and like do it well and consistently, and get everything successful before you add a second digital product, because every digital product you add, it's like having a separate business. You need lead flow for that product. You need a sales funnel for that product. You need to create that product and probably upkeep that product.
Mhm.
And if you have a community, you need to upkeep the community. If there's Q&A calls, you have to do Q&A calls. Like it's it could be a lot. And so keeping it to one product is really key. So how we use System is I put out videos every single week on YouTube. And then what I do 2 to 3 times in the video, I say, go in the description below to download XYZ freebie. So I have videos that I make about YouTube, videos that I make about digital products, videos that I make about making money online. And then I have a freebie that like correlates with all of those
Okay.
pillars basically.
Can I pause there?
And yeah, yeah.
How many freebies do you have?
Um, I think we have 2 or 3 right now. I really would say don't go crazy on the freebies. Start with one. I also started with one freebie.
Yeah.
For
I just wanted
example, if
people to hear that if you're simplifying the system, making
mhm,
sure you have not even, 20 freebies leading to the same thing. You only have 2 or
mhm.
3, and that's after 2 years of working on it too.
Yeah, my very first freebie that we literally just added a second freebie like recently. um, so my first freebie was just a list of 54 different types of digital products. And the reason I'm sharing that is because I don't use that freebie anymore. So go ahead and steal it. I don't use it anymore. but but yeah, basically, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like I literally went to ChatGPT, give me a list of 54 different types of digital products, made it into a freebie. Like it doesn't have to be crazy. My other freebie is my YouTube script template, which is my exact YouTube script. So I didn't make anything new. I just took the script I already had, made it a freebie. And then in the video, I'll say, let's say the video is about growing on YouTube. I'll say, oh, and by the way, if you want to grow faster and have a system behind it, go ahead and download my free YouTube script template in the description below this video. So then they download the freebie, which in order to do that, we use a freebie funnel in System. So they put in their name and email address, they hit submit. And then this is key, do not give them the freebie on the thank you page. I repeat, do not give them the freebie on the thank you page. Why shouldn't we do that? Well, people will give you a fake email address, and they will probably 70% of the time. So don't do that. What you want to do is send them the freebie via email. So that way they have to give you a real email. The other thing is, I'm begging you, use double opt ins with Systeme.io, because, first of all, it's illegal in most countries to actually not use double opt in, but also, would you rather just have a ton of emails where nobody buys and it's all like spam and bots, or would you rather have a smaller email list that's like super like engaged, they reply to your emails, they buy all your stuff? Don't look at trying to just build a big list to build big numbers. Do the double opt-in, because what happens is they opt in for your freebie, they get an email saying you have to click to confirm, then the freebie sends to them. So that way they have to actually have a real email, but they have to actually also go into their email to confirm it. And just trust me on this, it's going to save you loads of time, money, and headaches to keep your list clean like that. Um, then once they get the freebie, well, actually, when they opt in, so they're getting the freebie to their email, right? But on the thank you page, we actually have an invite for a free training, which that could be that's a whole different funnel. I'm going to stay focused on the freebie funnel. So once they get the freebie, they also get subscribed to my it's somewhere between 6 and 9 months long automated email sequence that basically goes between free nurture helpful content and sales emails to make sales. So yeah.
Okay, so while that 9-month nurture sequence is going out, do you send anything like, are they segmented or tagged in a way that if you want to send something to them that's time sensitive, like this is what's happening, that still will go to them? Or are they only in that 9-month sequence warming them up to you? And then after they finish or exit that sequence, then you can send stuff to them? Like, how does that work inside of
Yeah.
Systeme.io?
So if you're new, and you're going 9 month email sequence, yeah, you're not gonna be able to build a 9 month email sequence like in a day. Okay. This is gonna take a long time. So I just want to share really quick what I would do if you're a newbie is just write a 5 email welcome sequence. 5 emails, that's it. And they're going to get one email day 1, one email day 2, one email day 3, one email day 4, one email day 5. And this is going to be one overarching story. So I want you to write out one story that has to do with your niche, just one. And then you can break it up into 5 emails. It's a lot easier to write one whole story and break it up than try to like weave it in. And then the last 2 emails should have calls to action to buy whatever it is you're selling. So start there. And then what you could do is you can add a month at a time until you get to like a 6 or 9 month automated email sequence. So I think what you're asking is, do we send any emails like manually?
Yeah.
And the answer is pretty much no. I would say, other than maybe like if I'm doing something with marketing and I need a quick survey, which we do have all of our surveys automated, but in case I need something random, which maybe happens once a year, I will just send out an email on top of the automated sequence.
Yeah.
When we do a launch, like say for Black Friday, which if you're new, I wouldn't even recommend doing that until you're consistent with your sales. People think Black Friday is like easier to make sales. It's actually harder. So please, I'm begging you, do not wait until Black Friday to launch your product. I get this every year where people are like, well, I'm going to wait till Black Friday. Don't launch it now, or launch it after Black Friday, whatever you
Yeah.
have to do. But what we'll do is we actually go in and we pause the automated email sequence in System, and then we'll schedule the manual emails. We definitely don't
Oh,
want to send out emails on top of emails.
yeah.
Otherwise it can hurt your what's the word for it?
Deliverability rate or spam.
Deliverability. Yeah, there's a word for it. I can't think of it, but it'll reputation. It'll hurt your email reputation, and then your deliverability will go down.
Yeah.
And System will yell at you
Oh, good. It has
because
alerts inside of it that will
no,
yell, be
like
like,
yeah, like truly, it's like a good thing, honestly, because like if there's someone using System to send emails and they're like spamming or something, System they'll know that right away and they'll turn off they'll make it so they can't send emails, which is good
as
because
is good.
it keeps the deliverability of the entire platform high. So yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to get kind of techie on you. So like
Yeah.
Systeme.io probably is like on a server system and then you're all kind of sharing it. So if one person is going to uh, mess up the integrity
Hmm.
of that server, that deliverability, they're not going to have that happen. And I'm speaking from experience where I had an email get blacklisted, not because of anything we did, but because someone who was sharing the server that had our domain listed,
Hmm.
that we all like 20 emails got blacklisted because one
Now this
person.
is extra nerdy, and we're probably not going to talk on this a lot because it's for really the advanced people, but you can integrate SendGrid with System.io so that you have your own email deliverability platform on top of System. Like System, you still send all the emails and everything's with System, but just the deliverability. Do you get what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
actually just I think it's last week or two. So we still use System. I just want to be very clear on that. This is like in addition to we use SendGrid now because that way we can have our own sending platform and we're not sharing. Now, obviously, I waited years to do this. If you're a beginner, do not do this.
No.
This is costing me $300 a month. You don't need to do this either. You can stay on the platform. Okay. It's just something that I wanted to do so that we have more control basically. But again, we're going to be at like $600,000 this year. So
Yeah.
nothing you need to worry about. But I just want to share that it has the capability, which as you grow is such a cool
Yeah.
capability. Like it would be bad if they didn't have it. They do. It's amazing. So yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that was super nerdy. I enjoyed that.
I know. I'm like, no one's going to want to know this, but I want to
So
tell you.
so within the 9-month
Uh,
nurturing sequence that they're getting, you get your call to actions, and then that's where you're pushing that one product. This one product that's getting you 600,000.
yes.
Let's dive
Mhm.
into this one product, and it's all on System.io, your community, the membership.
Okay, so no, actually,
Okay.
but I will tell you what we do host on
Okay.
System.io. So someone goes through our email sequence and they'll get some emails that are like, Freedom Creator Club is now open, like you can join, whatever. Once they join, well, actually, when let's say they go to fill out the checkout page, um, there is a order bump. So if you don't know what an order bump is, at the bottom of the checkout page, there's basically like a tick box where you can check to add something additional to your order. Ours is $19, but you can charge whatever you want. I actually don't even know what the limit is. It's probably really high. I have no idea. You could charge whatever you want. And so now their order just went from $59 to 59 plus 19. I'm not going to try to do the math on that. And then when they hit checkout, then it takes them to an upsell page. So it says, oh, and if you want to add this other thing to your order, you can click here. One click, boop, boop, and it adds it to their order. Our next thing they can add is $67. Then if they, whether they take that or not, it'll go to the next one, which is $97. I know off the top of my head that our order bump is, I think it's 60% that people take. It's very high. The second one I want to say is like 20%. And then the third one's like 10%, something in there. And those products we all host on System or Google Drive. It just depends, like, does it need its own cool hosting platform with System, which I love their hosting. Like if you need to host like a course or just like a digital product or something like that, it's amazing. So we host all of that. We also have some courses that we sell as like bonuses for this program. But so like there are a lot of digital products, but it's all within one offer, if that makes sense. So yeah, and we host all the courses and everything in System. Now the community, when we started Freedom Creator Club, it's a membership. So we wanted to have a community aspect, where people can like talk in a forum basically. And System didn't have their community like feature at the time.
Yeah.
So that's why we looked elsewhere basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
now
so
we don't want to switch because we're very
because you've
ingrained
got
in
it
that
built
one.
over there and integrated.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so speaking of that, so anyone listening, again, time stepping this in October 2025, make sure you join the Systeme.io Facebook group. They are constantly doing updates. And that's, I know you could probably speak into this as well, is they're
Mhm.
doing updates. They listen
Yes.
to their community as well,
And I
just like
will
you did.
say, most of the other softwares I've used, they not only do they not do updates, they do updates that you don't freaking want. Like I was on this one platform, which I've already named, so you can guess it. Instead of making their funnels better, instead of making things like functional and like instead of trying to help their users make more sales, like they had no order bumps, no upsells. I'm like, yo, I make like almost 100 grand a year from order bumps and upsells. Like this is a massive problem. Instead, they came out with podcasting. I'm like, nobody wants this. Literally
Yeah.
nobody asked for this feature. Like you have to
Yeah.
ask your audience what they want. And so with System, correct me if I'm wrong, they have a page where you can submit features that you want. And I'm obsessed with, I trained my whole team on how to use this page. So
Yep.
basically anytime we want a feature, we post it, or if someone's already requested it, you can thumbs up it. And then they use the requests like in order of how many get the most upvotes.
Mm-hmm.
And they show you like this one's in progress, this one's going to be worked on next month. Like it's amazing. I
Yeah,
love
exactly.
it.
So, but before y'all are like, oh, why not? Like, if you're just now jumping on, community might be at that place where you could scale with it inside of Systeme.io. They're still in their infancy, comparatively speaking, to the other software programs out there, which is what this podcast is all about, right? It's success stories with Systeme.io. And
Mhm.
it's such a newbie on the block, especially here in America, because we're both speaking here in America. And so lots of the people that we've interviewed so far are global and all around. And so just wanted to like throw that out there. So I'm willing to hear software like,
Yeah, yeah,
and I,
sure.
so
The
let's
other
go
thing
ahead.
too is like even if you decide to use a different community feature software or like webinar or whatever, like you still can use System. Like it does so many things. You can pick and choose what you want to use it for. You can use it for everything. You can use it for one thing. You could literally just use it for email marketing and it would be amazing. Like you can
Yep.
choose what you want to use it for. So we personally use School. And the main reason we chose that, we actually went on Discord at first because Discord is free. But as you know, I listened to my customers and my customers absolutely hated it. Like
Yeah.
every day they were just like, it's hard to use. I don't like it. Like I'm a
Yeah.
huge Discord fan, but I also like, playing video games and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, our
Not a
customers
fan.
hated it. Yeah. So the main reason we went with School was just because their engagement on the platform is really good. And they have this thing called leaderboards where
Yep.
basically the more people engage, they gain points and then they can unlock prizes. And those prizes can be like digital products or a coaching call or you can pick whatever you want it to
Yeah.
be. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
the
the thing is these are
gamification.
two, yeah, they're two different platforms though, because people always ask me like, well, why not just go on school or why not just go on system? And you have to realize like they're very different. Like school does not do like not
Mm-mm,
even one penny or whatever you want to call it that system does,
mm-mm.
because and they're not trying to compete. They're two completely different businesses trying to solve completely different problems basically.
Yes, completely. Yes, school is definitely a community-based environment, and they're
Mhm.
all different schools on
Right.
purpose, like that. And so that's where you host your school, your membership,
And we
and so
still, you even though with school you can take payments and stuff, we still use system because with school you can't do order bumps, you can't do upsells. Like it's very limited. You can't do quarterly payments. Like I'm telling you, the best thing is to use system, and then you can either
yeah,
use their community or a different community.
yeah. I
Either
was
way,
literally just going to ask you if you use that. So, with your school environment, do they pay everything through checkout through Systeme.io,
everything's through system. Yeah. Hmm.
and then they get a link to go to school, and you have to see their email, and then approve an approval process for your
So
school?
we used to have to approve it manually, but then we hired a better tech person. Well, not I shouldn't say better. We didn't have a tech person.
Yeah, you didn't have
I
it.
don't know why I said that. I'm not trying to like poo poo on my own team. We didn't really have anyone doing it, so we hired a tech person who basically um, figured out. And it's actually not that complicated. I feel like we didn't like nobody on my team had the time to like figure this out. So we were
Mhm.
like manually adding everyone in like a Facebook group, which
Yeah.
sucked. But no, they have this feature that connects. So basically, when someone buys through System, you can set it up to, with System, you can set it up to automatically send an email through System when they buy, with a school link. So basically, they buy through System, they get an email from System with a school link, and they click, and it automatically adds them into the school group. So yeah.
My mind just Okay, so inside of your membership that has funneled them there through system, do you teach all this as well? Like, "Hey, this is my system. This is my
Yes.
blueprint."
So in my program, so for example, like we teach YouTube, right? But then the next module is teaching email marketing. So one of the parts of email marketing is building your freebie funnel. So I literally have my tech person on my team. So I do pretty much all the videos in the program, but I'm not the tech wizard. Okay, I'm okay. I can figure it out. Like system's easy. I can do it, and I did do it before we had a tech person, but my tech person's just better at explaining tech stuff. So basically, she does all the screen share videos showing you click by click how to build your freebie funnel. I mean, System literally gives you templates too. We also give you templates. That's another reason why I went with System is they do share funnels. So if I build a funnel and I want to share it with someone, I literally just click and I get a link and it shares. And with you, with one click, you add my exact funnel into your System account, which is crazy.
Which then feeds into the affiliate links as
I was
well,
gonna say,
right?
yeah, it's also an affiliate link, which is nuts.
It's like
Yeah,
embedded.
I know it's perfect. I absolutely love it, and my students love it because they don't have to build funnels. They can just boop, add it to their account. They can change out the text, the colors, whatever they want, and we give them the click by click tutorial on how to do that, and like anything else in the program. So, like if we're teaching you how to sell passively, we're teaching you how to launch, we're teaching how to like. So we'll teach you click by click. Like here's how you schedule emails. Here's how you automate the emails. Like it's like the whole process step by step, and then anytime there needs to be something tech related, we teach that in there. So yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wow, I think we covered so much. We have like the revenue scaling, we have the bells and whistles of system and how you've scaled it with organic traffic from YouTube all the way to a membership. Keep it simple. This was fire.
Thank
And
you. It was super fun.
we have to have you back. Like I could talk to you for another 3 hours. But I want to be cognizant of the time. So as we land the plane, I always try to ask a couple questions at the very end. And so if you could describe System.io with one word or even one sentence, what would you describe it as?
Easy automation platform.
I know, right? Their marketing plan is simple and it's right on point. All right. The gift of entrepreneurship. What has it given you?
Oh my gosh. Well, as someone who has entrepreneurial parents and entrepreneurial grandparents, uh, it's given me so much. I've actually never had really a 9 to 5. Like in college, I worked at like a gas station. I did laundry service, stuff like that. But so it's given me, since the day I dropped out of college, complete autonomy over, my success trajectory, my career. Also, as a woman, it's just given me so much empowerment to be able to do what I do. Like it's just so cool to be able to do what I love and have control over how much money I'm earning and have the financial freedom and financial time freedom. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping other people do it, because I meet, so many people that aren't entrepreneurs. And I'm not saying it's for everyone, of course, but and they wish they had more freedom. They wish they could just leave to pick up their kids, when they're sick, or leave for a dentist appointment, basic things like that. And sometimes when you work a 9 to 5, you can't. And so it just really motivates me to be able to help more people have that financial and time freedom.
Yes, I 100% agree. That's why I love Systeme.io. Now, for our very last question. For the person listening right now who's sitting on the edge of their seat and they're ready to go all in, especially after hearing everything you went through and the gift that it's given you, what would you say to them to go
I,
all in?
I would say that it's never too late. I think people sometimes hear my story and they think, well, easy for her because, she's been doing it since 2014. But maybe what you don't know is that when I dropped out of college, I had 81 cents in my bank account. I went to the bank crying my eyes out for them to not overdraft my bank account. I was driving a 1987 crappy Chrysler New Yorker that the I had to rope together the back handles so the doors wouldn't fly open when I took a curve. Like my family, although entrepreneurial, I don't come from a family of money. And I had to truly claw my way, to being able to have the lifestyle that I have now and the time freedom. And it's absolutely possible. And I truly don't believe that it happened for me because it happened in um, 2014. In fact, I started my photo business during the 2008 housing crisis. So I just think that there's never like a better time if you're waiting for like a better economy, more time on your calendar, more passion. There's never going to be more of that. You have to actually just start. And please believe me when I say, like, it genuinely does get easier. When you first start, that is going to be your hardest time in business that you're going to have, because you're going to be unsure of yourself. You're going to be like, well, I should do this niche, this niche, just choose one and start going. And as you gain that momentum, you're going to get better at your message. You're going to get more confident with what you're teaching. Everything is going to become so much easier. But the thing is that you do have to start. And you might look at people too and think, well, it's easy because they have a social media following. No one is born with a social media following. They decided they're going to start, and it might look like, a highlight reel on the internet. Their life is so easy, they started because it's easy. It's not. Nobody has a highlight reel life. Everyone has things going on behind the scenes that are extremely difficult, and they make it happen. And obviously I understand, like, you know, I have certain privilege that other people don't have. You might have certain privilege that other people don't have. Everyone's story is completely different, but I do want you to know that I believe in you. I'm sure the system team believes in you. And so even if you don't believe in yourself right now, just get started, and you will only gain confidence by actually doing the thing and taking action and making those first sales.
Amen. Like, just
I'm
put
very
that.
passionate about helping people, truly. Like, I'm just like, please, you can do this.
Okay. Well, if someone just heard that and they're like, I'm ready, let's go. How can they connect with you? How can they get into the club? Like,
Yeah.
tell us how to get in contact with Molly.
Yeah. So if you go to freedomcreator.co, I'm not cool enough for the com. Okay. So freedomcreator.co/masterclass. I have a totally free training. It's going to take you through everything. It's going to take you through how to find your niche, what product you can sell that's going to be actually profitable, how to grow on YouTube, how to actually use my framework to make consistent passive sales, all of that. Totally free training. So freedomcreator.co/masterclass. Check that out. That's going to be your best step to get started. Or you can check out any of my YouTube videos. I have almost 300, I think, at this point. And my channel, again, is just Molly Kaiser on YouTube.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to another success story with Systeme.io. And until next time, keep creating.